Hallelujah. God bless you, beloved. Pastor Lagbon Segosal is my name, and by the grace of God, I am the senior pastor of the Van Way Mega Church. I want to share with us today very few secrets I think that can help you and I how to grow your local church. How to grow your local church. See, in every ministry, growth is what we gonna need. A church that is not growing is not good. All pastors, ministers, I believe we all admire to have a mega church, a large congregation, you know. And today, I'm going to share you some tips that I know it will help you to grow your local church. Number one, how to grow a local church. What are the steps we need to take? Number one is evangelism. Evangelism. What is evangelism? Evangelism is a process of whereby you go out to tell people about God, you preach to them, you bring them to church. But I have one simple way of evangelism is called evangelism by invitation. Evangelism by invitation. How do you do this? You don't need to share more like reading the scripture, opening the Bible. No. What you do, you go with the flyer. If I have sample here, you go to the flyer, just tell the brother, good morning, God bless you. I'm inviting you to our church on Sunday. At the time is so, and just let the person know. And the person will gladly accept to come, or maybe will tell you, he or she will tell you he has another church. But listen to me, don't relent in evangelism. Any mega church you are seeing is a product of a thorough evangelism. You are a full-time pastor. In 7 days in a week, you don't go out up to 5 times for evangelism, then what is the essence of you being a full-time pastor? You need to take evangelism very, very, very extremely serious. And one thing I also understand, evangelism is not a department. It's for everybody. As far as you are a Christian, it is your responsibility to win souls for God. It is your responsibility to go out there and invite people to church. So this is number one key on how to grow the kingdom, the local church. Number two, a call to old and new members. As a pastor and as a faithful member of a church, you ought to understand the importance of phone calling. You're going to pick up a phone every Sunday afternoon, check on that brother that did not come, just call him or her. Hey, brother or sister, say hello to them and ask why they were not in church. When you call, imagine now, let's assume in a local church, about 4 persons were absent. And 4 persons were absent, 10 persons called that 4 persons. And I'm telling you, it will give them a sign or a sense of belonging. Imagine I was on in church today. You as a pastor, you put a call across to me. The other ministers or staff or worker or members also put a call across to me. I am telling you, your advice, the pastor's advice, your advice, it will encourage me to be in church the other day, the next time. So, calling old and new members is very, very important in the line of growing the local church. So, if you want to grow your local church, take evangelism serious, then take call to old and new members. Very, very important. Number 3, how to grow a local church. I'm giving about 10 steps today. Number 3, I call it reinstalling those who have stopped coming. Reinstalling those who have stopped coming. If you look at Galatians chapter 6 verse 1, the Bible tells you if you must learn how to restore one another with meekness. Those who have stopped coming to church for the past 1 month, 2 months, 3 days, 4 Sundays, 2 Sundays, as the case may be, either they have started another church or so, whatever it may be. You must have a strategy of reinstalling them, recalling them, bringing them back. Someone told me one time, I was asking after a brother from the person. He said, well, salvation is personal. I can't force anybody to go to church. My own is what I know. Hey, bro, that is not the truth. The Bible says, iron sharpeneth iron. What you have to do, you have to go out there, look for some members who have stopped, either because they were offended. Some of them will stop coming to church because when they were having challenges, nobody checked on them, nobody called them, nobody visited them. For that simple reason, they stopped coming. So your duty is to look for those persons, try as much as possible to restore them back to faith. Some of them stopped, they went to other church. Some of them stopped, they are not going to church at all. Those who went to other church is even better. But those who are not going at all, I beg of you, beloved, look for them and restore them. reinstall them. Very, very important. Then number four, how to grow a local church. Giving to the need of the church. You as a pastor, that is why I don't encourage any pastor to be a full-time when your hand is not too full. I'm telling you, you can't be a full-time pastor with a church of 100 members. You are wasting your time. You are killing the people. As a member, you can't say because of church, that is why you didn't go to work. Hey, you are to be working as a Christian. Make sure you are doing your secular job. The only thing I don't like is don't let the church time and the secular job clashes. No, don't do that. I pity some pastors and I pity some members. You do 1 week early morning program from 8 to 10 every day. You are not encouraging the members to work. You are not encouraging yourself to work either. So that is number 4, giving to the need. If you don't have, what will you do? It is he that have that can give. So when you are working, you'll be able to give to the need of the church. The church need boss. You are able to give to it. Now they can convey members to the church. The church need generator. You are able to give to that department, and they are bringing members to church, and they are seeing lights to handle the service they're handling. So giving is another way of growing the church. You as a member, you are supposed to give. You as a pastor, you are supposed to give. You as a worker or staff or ministers, you are supposed to give. You give through your offering, you give your time, you give your tithe, you give seed, you give your talents, So giving as a way of growing the church. Like for some reasons, maybe you want to buy Bible to share. You buy 200 Bibles to share to members who does not have. You are giving already. So it's a way of growing the church. Number 5, because of I don't want this video take much. Please, if this is your first time seeing my video, please help me share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Pastor Lagbon also remains my name. And number 5 is follow up. Follow up. Beloved, this is where we all are missing it. Those who came to church for the first time, what do you do with them? You have to follow them up thoroughly. You have to follow them up carefully. You have to follow them up systematically. You must follow them up. When you are able to follow them up, you give them a sense of belonging, and coming again and again and again became part of them. You must follow up people. Don't expect them to understand. Don't expect them to come on their own. You must follow them up. By so doing, child of God, you are growing the church. Many people have stopped coming to church because the first time they came, nobody cared to know about their house. Nobody cared to know about their need or demand or whatever. So when someone comes to church the first time, what you're going to do, assign somebody who will follow them up thoroughly. I prefer a woman following up a woman and a man following up a man, so that you don't have clashes along the line. Number 6 is visitation. Visitation. You as a pastor, do you know how beautiful, how good it will be when your church member sees you in his or her house suddenly uninvited? Wow. I don't know about Western world. I'm talking about Africa. It's a good thing, and it will be as if it is God that just entered their house, and they will like it very well. Visitation. Some persons are not in church today. Look for them and visit them. Some of them were not in church last week. Look for them and visit them. Most time it is not intentional. Yeah, it's not intentional. Maybe 1 or 2 challenges kept them. Your visit is to encourage them, you advise them, and pray with the person. And when what's happening, the person will keep coming. I'm not coming alone. He or she might also come with some other persons. Number 7 is you going to church early. Going to church early. We're talking about how to grow a local church. You as a member, as a pastor, as a minister, as a worker, going to church early is very, 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 very important. It's very, very much important. You must understand. Imagine you invite somebody to come to church. You say you are starting service by 7 o'clock, and the person came to church by 7 o'clock, and you were not there. You that invited the person. Tomorrow the same thing, and next week the same thing. Just all service day, that is how you used to come late. The person one day will also learn from your habit. Yes, he or she will learn from your habit. So coming to church early as a way of growing the church, either as a pastor, as a minister, as a worker, as a member, it is important to always learn to come early to church services. And as you do that, the church began to grow. Number 8, how to grow a local church. Dress good and always put on a smiling face. I didn't say you dress more expensive, like go and buy expensive clothes to wear. No, just try your possible best to dress good. Your clothes could be cheap, but learn to dress good. Learn to dress nice. Some persons can get pissed off because of your dressing. Example, you are coming to church half naked. You are coming to church as a female. Your private parts are all visible. No, it could make some persons say, hey, this church, they are full of immorality. They are full of atrocity. Look at the way their choirs are dressing. Look at the way the women are dressing. Look at the way the men are dressing. Look at the way the youth are dressing. Somebody who is coming from a very good background in the ministry, who have just relocated to your ministry environment, decided to start fellowshipping with you. Maybe he left the country where he or she was, and now he's in your country, and your church is there, decided to fellowship with you. And at the end of the day, the indecent dressing, the person will not be comfortable there. The person will not be comfortable there. And dressing and always putting on smiley faces that everybody are just starting their face like demon destroyers. I don't know. So put on a smiley faces and it will help the church to grow. Number 9. I think that should be, I'm running it up very soon. Number 9. Becoming a worker in the church. Becoming a worker in the church. See, when you are a worker, remember, it is people or persons who arrange the chair you're going to sit on. It is people who are in charge of the sound. It is people who are in charge of the media. It is people who are in charge of the instrumentalists. All departments in the church are handled by humans, not angels. By humans. So you too, you must be involved. Because if you are not involved, there will be lapses in that environment. If the lapses, there is a way it can affect the growth of the church. Let's give an instance now. Maybe you know how to play instrument, or maybe you don't even know how to play instrument. But listen, if there's no good person who play that instrument, and the instrument is having a challenges, people will say, well, I would have loved to be in this, but I don't like the instrumentalists. They don't play well. Hey, you that is saying that, you could cover that vacancy. Learn and be part of the workers so that you could be able to bridge the gap or the lapses that people will notice that will affect their coming to church. So person come to church with nice dress and the chairs are stains, the chairs are roughed, they sat on it and the clothes get stained and they're ashamed to go home with that because the clothes are, somehow. Because there is no much worker. If there's much worker, somebody is already there to clean the chair. So make sure you make yourself available. And lastly, next moment, for the church to grow, you must have a forgiving spirit. This is where most Christians miss it. A forgiving spirit. You must learn to forgive one another. Because if you're having a grievances with a fellow church member, a fellow Christian brother or sister, that could make them to stop coming. It could make them to stop coming. Many of us, we are too proud of ourselves. We don't want to take shit from anybody. Whoever that talk to us anyhow, whoever that just, So please learn to forgive. It is true that people will offend you in the church and people have offended you, they will keep offending you. It is only the living that will notice this. The dead will not notice this. Okay? So we must be able to kill the flesh. Learn to forgive one another. That brother you didn't forgive last time, each time imagine you are having a misunderstanding with somebody in the church. Two persons are having misunderstanding. When you are praying, you look at the other person, he or she will not be praying in a way that it will make you feel somehow. And you too want to let the person know, hey, what are you doing? If the person is dancing, the dancing that person is dancing become irritating you. Let me use that word. You're no longer pleased with anything that person do. And you're in church, your heart is beating bitterly, hunger for the person. And the person also know that he or she is still feeling the same thing. If he tells people outside, they will tell them, leave the church before the person will make you to sin against God more. Hey, learn to forgive one another. Some of you are even angry with your pastor. Very funny. You're also angry with your pastor. Say, hey, the reason why I've stopped going to church, my pastor did not visit me when I gave birth. Very funny. Very funny. You think pastor doesn't have his own challenges as well? They do. They do. They do. So, but please learn to forgive. You that's watching this video right now, I want to beg you. Whoever have offended you, forgive the person. Forgive yourself. Some of you are angry with your parents, forgive them. As you are watching this video, forgive them. You are a Christian. You are a Christian. So that then too, we have this sense of belonging, of joining the same faith with you.